Welcome, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the temple. I'm Susie, Soul Alchemist, your Akashic guide and oracle card creator. This is your weekly Soul Alchemy reading. Okay, so the cards that have come out today are Soul Alignment, Divine Masculine, the Witch Wound, and Embodiment. So let's start with what needs to be cleared in order to help you during this powerful month to accelerate your growth, and to help you to recalibrate and reach your next timeline. So the witch wound. The witch wound is one of the biggest woundings that we see in spiritual women. This wounding comes from lifetimes that we've had as a witch, a healer, a medicine woman, a herbalist, all of those different kinds of energies. And during those times or past lives, you would have experienced some kind of persecution, trauma, and all of those energies. But not only does the witch wound come through the past lives that we've had, it also comes down through our DNA from our ancestors as well. So the witch wound is a really, really powerful wounding that stops us from really being in our light, from sharing our gifts with the world through fear of persecution, torture. We may have been burnt at the stake, or we may have been tortured in some way, and that trauma imprint remains in our soul. So clearing the witch wound is going to be really powerful in helping you to show up in your life, to speak your truth, to be visible, so that you can start creating whatever it is that you want to create, right? The witch wound really stops us from being in our light because we fear being seen. If we're seen, we're going to be taken advantage of, we're going to be tortured. If we speak our truth, then, the same thing comes in, that we may be tortured for speaking our truth. We may be exiled. We may be punished or persecuted for speaking our truth. So there's some really deep-rooted wounds that come in with this. A lot of them based around fear from our past experiences of being tortured and persecuted. So this is going to affect not only our visibility and being able to speak our truth and show up in our power, show up in our gifts and share our gifts with the world. So this is a massive impact for spiritual entrepreneurs that need to show up, that need to sell their products and their services. If you're carrying the witch wound, then you want to stay small. As much as your head is telling you, we want to be out there, we need to be visible, right? Your ego, your keeping yourself hidden through that fear of persecution, being recognized, and all of those different things, right? You are given these gifts to share with the world. So another thing that comes up with the witch wound is not charging enough money. Right? We may have made oaths, vows, contracts, or agreements in a past life to not charge for our gifts, right? And a lot of spiritual women may see this and think, well, I need to give away my gifts for free, right? Because I'm spiritual and I have these gifts, people shouldn't have to pay for them. And that's so wrong. Right? You have spiritual gifts, whether that's being a witch, a psychic, an astrologer, a herbalist, whatever that is your soul gift. And you need to exchange energy in order to help you to live. Just like the lead singer of Oasis charges thousands for his gift, and you go see him play, and tickets are incredibly expensive. Right? That's his gift. So why should he get paid for his gift and spiritual women not get paid for theirs? Right? So that's something for you to think about. So the witch wound does have an impact, especially on spiritual entrepreneurs that are wanting to set up a business and charge for their gifts, basically. So, the fear of charging, what you're worth, giving everything away for free, being visible. All of these things massively show up with the witch wound. Okay, so it is time to heal the witch wound. Okay, so that you can start to relieve that trauma, those imprints that are in your soul that are stopping you from showing up. Now, the next card that came up was Divine Masculine. Now, what I've noticed with a lot of my clients is they are in their masculine energy, but it's the wounded masculine energy where it's hustle, strife, doing all the things rather than being. And this card is really inviting us to step into the empowered masculine, right? That does take action. Action is really, really important, but it takes action from a place of being rather than doing. So if you're spinning your wheels, if you're doing all of the things, then you're probably in your wounded masculine rather than your empowered masculine, who is here to help you to put those strategies and action into place from a feminine energy of flow, right? Rather than doing. So by stepping into your empowered masculine energy, looking at how you can work with removing the witch wound, right? Releasing and healing that energy so that you can reclaim your power, right? If we've had past lives as a witch, healer, astrologer, all of those different energies that are encompassed by what we refer to as the witch, not only have we got all that trauma, but we can tap into all of those gifts from ourselves, our soul in past lifetimes, but also the gifts of our ancestors as well. So this is a really, really powerful time to work with those energies and start removing, releasing, and healing the trauma that comes with the witch wound, but also calling in those gifts across lifetimes and timelines to help you in this lifetime. And as you do that, we have the soul alignment card, right? You're here to be the best version of yourself that you can be, right? And that means aligning our energy, aligning our truth of who we are, what we're here to do, our soul purpose, our soul blueprint, in order to live the best life, but also to serve humanity as well. So this card is really asking you to let go of all of the things that are stopping you from being in alignment. So this is a time, and I really feel that this is arising within us collectively, that the things are not in alignment with us are starting to be removed, whether that's toxic relationships, whether that's the job that isn't in alignment with you and literally drains your soul, whether that's some of the things that you're doing, your habits, beliefs, all of those things are starting to shift globally. So this is definitely the time to look at the beliefs that you're holding, right? What's working and what isn't working. We're coming up to full moon on the 4th of December. So this is a great time to do a releasing ritual, to release everything that is no longer serving you, especially the stuff that you don't want to take into a new year, right? That's really, really important. This is the last full moon of 2025. So this is the time to release. This is the time to really understand what's working, what's not working, what's holding you back, what's draining your energy, right? And stopping you from being fully in alignment, and using this moon to release all of those things so that not only are you clearing your energy for December, but you're releasing the stuff that you don't want to take into a new year with you. Okay, and that's really, really important. And the last card that came up is Embodiment. Now, Embodiment is about taking that action, but it's taking that action from a place that's aligned with your soul. So it's not enough to just have a reading and gather all the information and then do nothing about it, right? You need to take action, whether that's letting go of something, whether that's going somewhere, whether that's changing something. We have to take action. We need to embody the information that has come through for us so that we can make a change, right? We can sit and listen to YouTube readings and do readings for ourselves, but if we do not embody the information, the knowledge, the healing, whatever it may be that's come through, nothing's going to change, right? We have to take responsibility. We have to take that action to make a change, right? And if we don't make a change, we're going to be in the same situation over and over and over again. So embodiment is really asking you to embody the information. So the information in this reading, your own readings, whatever is coming up for you, and to take action on it, right? So the action that you can take on this reading is to understand where the witch wound comes up for you. How many past lives have you had as a witch? Releasing some of the things that the witch wound are holding on to. So maybe you could look at fear of visibility and where that comes from, right? So we know it's a past life, but starting to work on releasing that fear of visibility. Or if you're in your masculine energy, look at balancing out with feminine energy. And instead of being in the hustle and the doing, try things from a place of being, right? And that is how you embody the information, the healing, and what is coming up for you. So I would love to know how these cards resonated with you and what action step you're going to take. How are you going to embody this reading so that you can start to make a change? Okay. Now, if you've got the deck, this deck is available and I have linked it in the description. There are some embodiment rituals, right? Embodiment rituals and light code activations to help start healing the witch wound. So this is a really, really powerful deck. I'm going to have a look and I'm going to give you one from here. So let's have a look. Number 2. Right, let's give you an embodiment ritual. So write a letter from your inner witch. Let her speak freely. Her grief, her rage, her power, her wisdom. Read it out loud and then say, I am safe, I am sovereign, I reclaim my magic now. Okay, so there's a nice embodiment ritual for you that comes with the cards. There's also many other things in here that come with the cards to help you to release some of these major woundings. So there's some reflections, Akashic insight, and light activations within the book as well. So I'll link that below. I'd love to know how this reading resonated with you and how you're going to embody it. Have an amazing week, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Ciao for now.